Namaste students, how you all are? I hope you all are enjoying at your home with your parents and your family. But it's a humble request that give some time to your study also, because study are equally important at this time. Student, in our previous video, we emphasized on a law which is known as Raoult's law. We studied about Raoult's law in detail in our previous video. On the basis of the Raoult's law, liquid-liquid solutions are further divided into two categories. So today we are going to study those two categories of liquid-liquid solution which are categorized on the basis of the Raoult's law. So today's our topic is ideal solutions, non-ideal solutions. So these are two liquid-liquid solutions. And what do you mean by liquid-liquid solution? A solution in which solvent as well as the solute both are present in the liquid phase. So these are liquid-liquid solutions which are categorized on the basis of the Raoult's law. These two topics we'll study today, and also we'll take one more topic, and that is azeotropic mixture. That is azeotropic mixture or azeotropic solution. So today's our topic is ideal solution, non-ideal solution and azeotropic mixture. So let's get started. Today's our first topic is ideal solution. First of all, we'll learn about ideal solutions. Now, what are ideal solutions? Ideal solutions are those solutions which obeys Raoult's law under all conditions of temperature and pressure. Means a liquid-liquid solution in which both solute and the solvent are in liquid phase. If the solution obeys Raoult's law under all condition, whatever be the condition of the temperature, whatever be the condition of the pressure, under all temperature and pressure, if the solution obeys Raoult's law, then the solution is termed as ideal solution. Now, if the solution is ideal, then it follows or it satisfies some conditions. So what are those conditions? Conditions satisfied by the solution. What are those conditions which are satisfied by the solution? The first condition is delta H mixing is equals to 0. It means if I talk about the enthalpy change when reactant get converted into the product, when solute solvent combines to form a solution, then delta H mixing is equals to 0. There is no change in the enthalpy of the reaction. Similarly, delta V mixing is also equals to 0. And the third condition, the most important condition, is that the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute solvent is nearly equal or is equal to the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute and the solvent. So these three conditions are satisfied by the solution which is ideal in nature. So ideal solution is a solution which obeys Raoult's law under all circumstances of the temperature and pressure, and if the solution is ideal, then it satisfies these three conditions under all conditions of temperature and pressure. Now, which solution behave like as an ideal solution? Because if we talk about practical, so practically ideal solutions are very rare. Yeah? So if the solution is very dilute, it means if the amount of the solute is very less in the solution, then the solution nearly behave like an ideal solution. So first of all, if the solution is very dilute. So if the solution is very dilute, then the solution should behave like an ideal solution. Or if there is similarity in structure and polarity, of the solvent and the solute, then also the solution formed by the solute and the solvent behave like an ideal solution. So under two conditions, the solution behave like an ideal solution. These are if the solution is very dilute, means very less amount of solute is present, and second one, if there is a similarity in the structure and the polarity of the solute and the solvent. Now fourth thing which we studied about the ideal solution is the graph. Now we are saying that ideal solution is a solution which is obeying Raoult's law. Now if this solution obeys Raoult's law, then the graph is similar to that which we studied in Raoult's law. And what is that? If I draw a graph here xa is equals to 1, xb is equals to 0, xa equals to 0, xb equals to 1. Here it is Pa naught, that is the vapor pressure of A at its pure state. Here it is Pb naught. Now from the graph it is clear that the B component is more volatile as compared to A, that's why Pb naught is greater than Pa naught. But it is not necessary that always Pb naught is greater than Pa naught. If the A component is more volatile in nature as compared to B, then Pa naught is exactly greater than the Pb naught. So while moving from here to here, number of moles of A decreases, as a result of which the pressure exerted by the A also decreases, and here it becomes 0, and the pressure exerted by the B increases because number of moles of B increases. And this line gives us the total pressure of the solution, that is equals to Pa plus Pb. And what is Pa? Pa equals to P naught A into Xi A, and Pb equals to P naught B into Xi B. This is according to Raoult's law. So these are four different points which we have to remember about the ideal solution. First of all, again repeat, definition, obeys Raoult's law. Second, conditions, delta H mixing should be 0, delta V mixing is also 0, and intermolecular force of attraction should be same. Third, the solution which is very dilute, that behave like an ideal solution, or the solution in which both solute and the solvent have similar structure and the polarity, they behave like an ideal solution, and the graph is exactly similar which we studied in the Raoult's law. Now if we have to learn some examples of the ideal solution, what are the examples of the ideal solution? Like hexane and heptane, benzene and toluene, chlorobenzene and bromobenzene, etc. So these are the examples of the ideal solution. Means these solutions behave as an ideal solution, means these solution obeys Raoult's law under all circumstances of the temperature and pressure. Now next we'll talk about non-ideal solution. Now what are non-ideal solution? So you can guess what are non-ideal solution on the basis of the ideal solution. So non-ideal solutions are those solutions which do not obey Raoult's law. So which obeys Raoult's law, that is ideal one, and which do not obey Raoult's law, that is non-ideal one. So Raoult's law obeying solution are known as ideal solution, and those solutions which do not obey Raoult's law are known as non-ideal solution. And if they are not obeying the Raoult's law, it means they are not satisfying the three conditions which was satisfied by the ideal solution. And what are those conditions? In ideal solution, delta H mixing equals to 0. So in non-ideal solution, delta H mixing is not equals to 0. Clear? Now take an example of mixing of acid and water. We know from the junior classes that when we add acid and water, the solution becomes hot. It means there is a change in the enthalpy of the mixture. It means delta H mixing is not equals to 0. Similarly, delta V mixing is also not equals to 0 because it is a non-ideal solution. And the most important, that the intermolecular force of attraction, between the solute and the solvent is different from the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute and the solvent. Now here I am saying a term that different. means the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute solvent is different from the solute solute and the solvent solvent. I didn't say that greater than or less than. It means it may be greater than or it may be less than. And on the basis of the intermolecular force of attraction, this non-ideal solution is further divided into two categories. Now, first category is non-ideal solution showing positive deviation. Showing positive deviation. First non-ideal solution will show positive deviation. Now, if a non-ideal solution showing positive deviation, then though it is a non-ideal solution, so delta H mixing and delta V mixing not equals to 0, and the intermolecular force of attraction are also different. But if it is a positive deviation, then it satisfies the condition that delta H mixing is positive, delta V mixing is also positive, and the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute and the solvent is less than the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute and the solvent. Now, what happened when the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute solvent becomes less as compared to the solute and solvent? Due to the decrease in the intermolecular force of attraction, with increase in temperature, the solution can form more and more vapors. Because intermolecular force of attraction is weak, due to the weak intermolecular force of attraction, they have a strong tendency to form vapors, as a result of which vapor pressure increases suddenly. And if the vapor pressure increases, their boiling point decreases, because vapor pressure and boiling point are inversely related to each other. If a substance is highly volatile in nature, its boiling point is very low, because at very less temperature it acquired that vapor pressure which is nearly exactly equal to the atmospheric pressure. This is the definition of the boiling point. I hope you all know the definition of the boiling point, that boiling point of any liquid is that point at which the vapor pressure of that liquid become equal to the atmospheric pressure. So if a large amount of if a large tendency of vapor is there of any particular liquid, then too much amount of vapors are formed suddenly, and if too much amount of vapors are formed suddenly, then the liquid create a vapor pressure at low temperature which is equal to the atmospheric pressure, as a result of which boiling point decreases. So when the interaction is less, vapors increases. When vapors increases, vapor pressure increases, and due to the increase in the vapor pressure, we are saying it positive deviation. But due to the increase in the vapor pressure, boiling point decreases. It means when such type of solution is formed, the boiling point of the solution is less than solute and the solvent boiling point. Now, if we draw the graph of such solution, XA is equals to 1, XB is equals to 0, XA is equals to 0, XB is equals to 1. This is PA naught, this is PB naught, this is my ideal condition, this one is also ideal condition, and this one is also ideal condition. But this is a non-ideal solution, and the non-ideal solution showing positive deviation means intermolecular force of attraction are less, so more vapors form, and if more vapors form, vapor pressure increases. It means the graph is like this. Here the graph should be like this. Similarly, this and this. So this line gives the value of PA, which is equals to P naught A into xi A. This is PB, clear, and this is PT, which is equals to PA plus PP, clear. And if I focus on the graph, I got a point here the maximum point. It means at this point the vapor pressure is maximum. It means here the amount of vapors are maximum. At this point, if I talk about the composition, this composition, at this particular composition, the vapor pressure is maximum. If the vapor pressure is maximum, then the boiling point is minimum, and because of this composition is termed as minimum boiling azeotropic mixture. Minimum boiling azeotropic mixture. Now, why it is minimum boiling? I hope you understand that at this point the vapor pressure is maximum. If the vapor pressure is maximum, boiling point is minimum, because there is an inverse relation between these two. So if vapor pressure is maximum, boiling point is minimum. That's why it is minimum boiling. And why it is azeotropic, that we'll discuss later on. So it is minimum boiling azeotropic mixture, and this mixture I got at this specific composition. This mixture I didn't get at any of the composition. I get this mixture only at a particular composition when the solution is showing the positive deviation. So these are the points which we have to keep in our mind during the negative non-ideal solution showing positive deviation. Now we also have to learn some examples which shows positive deviation. Now the examples are like acetone plus CH2, acetone plus benzene, acetone plus C2H5OH, CH3OH plus water, C2H5OH plus water, propanol plus water. I think this much amount of examples are sufficient. So I'll repeat again: acetone plus CH2, acetone plus benzene, acetone plus C2H5OH, propanol plus water, ethanol plus water. Now we'll move to our next non-ideal solution, that is the solution showing negative deviation. The solution showing negative deviation. Positive deviation, minimum boiling point. Positive deviation, minimum boiling point. And when we talk about the negative deviation, we get the maximum boiling point. Let's see how. Second non-ideal solution showing negative deviation. Now, if a non-ideal solution is showing negative deviation, then it satisfies the following condition. These conditions are: delta H mixing is equals to negative, delta V mixing is also equals to negative because it is negative deviation. In positive we get positive values, and the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute solvent is greater than the intermolecular force of attraction between the solute and the solvent. And due to the increase in the intermolecular force of attraction, what happens? Vapors, tendency to form vapors decreases. If the tendency to form vapors decreases, then at a particular temperature vapor pressure decreases at a particular temperature. Suppose if I am talking about 50 degrees Celsius, if at 50 degrees Celsius, if the intermolecular force of attraction are not so strong, then the number of vapors are more. If the number of vapors are more, vapor pressure also more. But if the intermolecular force of attraction increases, vapor decreases, and due to the decrease in the vapor pressure also decreases. And due to the decrease in the vapor pressure, our boiling point increases. Boiling point increases. So in positive deviation we studied that finally the boiling point decreases, and in negative deviation finally the boiling point increases. So we are not relating positive and negative deviation sign with boiling point. We are relating positive and negative sign with vapor pressure. With increase in vapor pressure, positive deviation. With a decrease in vapor pressure, negative deviation. And we know that vapor pressure and boiling point are inversely related. So vapor pressure increases, boiling point decreases. Boiling point if increases, vapor pressure decreases. Now, here is the graph for the solution showing negative deviation. Xi A 1, Xi B 0, Xi A 0, Xi B 1. here it is PA naught, here it is PB naught. This is my ideal solution, ideal behavior, and because it is a negative deviation, I got a graph like this or this and this. Clear? Similarly, in this graph also, I got a point, a composition where the vapor pressure is minimum, and if the vapor pressure is minimum means at that composition boiling point is maximum, and if boiling point is maximum, this composition is termed as maximum boiling, again the term that is azeotropic mixture or azeotropic composition. Now why it is maximum boiling? Because at this composition the boiling point of this solution is maximum because the vapor pressure is minimum. So these are the points which we have to keep in our mind when we are talking about the non-ideal solution showing negative deviation. Now some examples. Here delta H mixing is negative. In 11th class we studied that when we are talking about the exothermic reaction, then delta H mixing is equals to negative. So whenever we add acid and water, then delta H mixing is always negative. So the example is either HCl or water or HNO3 or water and CHCl3 benzene. These are the few examples of the non-ideal solution which are showing the negative deviation. Now we'll move to our next topic, because in positive deviation and in negative deviation I am talking about continuously, I am talking about a term that is azeotropic mixture. So now we'll learn about the azeotropic mixture. So next topic for today is azeotropic mixture. Now what are azeotropic mixture? Azeotropic mixture. Now the term azeotropic mixture we have introduced in non-ideal solution. We have not introduced the azeotropic mixture term in an ideal solution. It means ideal solutions never be azeotropic mixture. Ideal solution never be azeotropic mixture. Non-ideal solutions are azeotropic mixture. But the question is, all non-ideal solutions are azeotropic mixture? No. Only those ideal solution, means non-ideal solution under a specific composition behave like an azeotropic mixture. Clear? A non-ideal solution under a specific composition behave like an azeotropic mixture. It means ideal solution never be azeotropic, non-ideal solution is azeotropic, but when there is a specific composition of the solute and the solvent, then only non-ideal solution behave as an azeotropic mixture. Now what are azeotropic mixture? Azeotropic mixture are the binary solution. Yes, azeotropic mixture are the binary solution, because from initially we are talking about liquid solution also. One solute, one solvent. So one solute, one solvent, we know that binary solution. And in non-ideal solution we studied about azeotropic mixture, and non-ideal solution is a combination of liquid and liquid. So a binary solution whose composition doesn't vary, or a particular solution which boils at a constant temperature without any change in the composition is known as azeotropic mixture. So what is azeotropic mixture? A binary solution which boils at a constant temperature without any change in the composition. So that is known as azeotropic mixture. It means it is a solution, but it boils like a pure liquid. It boils like a pure liquid. Just as a pure liquid boil, similarly the azeotropic solution or azeotropic mixture will boil. So azeotropic mixture is a binary solution which boils at a constant temperature without any change in the composition. It means this is a solution which boils like a pure liquid. Now if we talk about that at what composition, how we get to know that at which composition the solution behave like a azeotropic mixture, so that we get from the graph. In graph we studied that we get a maximum point at positive deviation and minimum peak at negative deviation. So maximum in positive deviation and minimum in negative deviation is that particular composition where we get the azeotropic mixture. Now next, if we talk about that the separation of the component of the azeotropic mixture, the components of the azeotropic mixture cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Now why the components cannot be separated by fractional distillation? Because if we want to separate the component of any solution by fractional distillation, the solution should obey, or the solution should satisfy a condition. And what is that condition? That XA is not equals to YA and XB is not equals to YB. Now what is XA, YA and XB, YB? That is the mole fraction of A and B in the solution phase and mole fraction of A and B in the vapor phase, and how these are correlated with each other. In our previous video we have studied, and I will provide you a link in the description box. So the components of the azeotropic mixture cannot be separated by fractional distillation, because for the separation by fractional distillation, the solution should satisfy a condition that XA should not equals to YA or XB should not equals to YB. But in azeotropic mixture, the mole fraction of A in the solution phase is equal to the mole fraction of A in the vapor phase, and the mole fraction of B in the solution phase is equal to the mole fraction of B in the vapor phase. So because of this, the components cannot be separated by the fractional distillation. So how they can be separated? They can be separated by azeotropic distillation. Now what do you mean by azeotropic distillation? Azeotropic distillation means mixing of a suitable substance at that particular composition and then subjected the solution to the fractional distillation. Suppose if I talk about alcohol, so if I want to if I want to get the pure alcohol, because when suppose I have C2H5OH plus water, I have a diluted alcohol, and I want to concentrate it. So I'll concentrate it by fractional distillation. So up to 95.4% I am succeeded. Means at up to 95.4% I got the concentrated ethanol. But after 95.4% the mixture behaved like an ideal solution. Means at this composition the solution behaved like an ideal azeotropic mixture, and if it behaved like an azeotropic mixture, now I cannot separate this composition with the help of fractional distillation. So what I'll do, I'll add benzene here. So after adding benzene, I'll subject the mixture of these three to the fractional distillation, and after which I get the 100% ethanol. So with fractional distillation, yes, it is not possible to separate the components completely. If we want to separate the components of the non-ideal solution completely or azeotropic mixture at azeotropic composition, we have to add certain compound or certain components which help in the separation of that particular component, just like benzene did. Now, in non-ideal solution, we studied about two different azeotropic mixture. One is maximum boiling azeotropic mixture and second is minimum boiling azeotropic mixture. First one we have studied positive deviation. Positive deviation means minimum boiling azeotropic mixture. Now here the examples are similar which we have studied in the positive deviation, that like acetone and benzene, acetone and C2H5OH, C2H5OH and water, propanol and water, like C2H5OH and water. Clear? Its boiling point is 350 Kelvin. Its boiling point is 373 Kelvin. But when I get a solution of C2H5OH in water, when C2H5OH is 95.4%, clear, then the boiling point of the solution becomes, जो boiling point होगा इस solution का वो क्या हो जाएगा हमारा less than, because it is what it is, positive deviation. Positive deviation means vapor pressure are more. If the vapor pressure are more, then the boiling point is less. It means the boiling point is less than 350. Sorry, it is 353 Kelvin and the boiling point is 350 Kelvin. Clear? So this is the example of minimum boiling azeotropic mixture. At 95.4 degrees Celsius, the solution behave as an azeotropic mixture which boils at 350 Kelvin. Means both water and ethanol boils at 350 Kelvin. It means the boiling point of water as well as the boiling point of ethanol both decreases, because the boiling point of ethanol is 353 and the boiling point of water is 373 and we get 350, and that's why it is termed as minimum boiling azeotropic mixture. And this mixture we get when the composition is 95.4%. At other composition we didn't get this azeotropic mixture of ethanol. Similarly, second, if I talk about maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. Now what are maximum boiling azeotropic mixture? In which we get a maximum boiling point, and when we get the maximum boiling point, when the vapor pressure is minimum, and when the vapor pressure is minimum means the deviation is negative deviation. So let us take an example of HCl and water. So when we are going to concentrate the diluted solution of HCl at 20%, means when HCl is 20% and water is 80%. So at that particular composition I get the maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. It means the boiling point of the solution is greater than the boiling point of the water and the boiling point of the HCl. Now the boiling point of water, we know that it is 373 Kelvin and it is nearly 239 Kelvin. Clear? But the solution boiling point is 400 Kelvin. So it is greater than water as well as it is greater than the HCl. So at 350 Kelvin, the solution of ethanol and water boils like a pure liquid, and similarly at 400 Kelvin, the solution of HCl and water behave like a pure liquid, means they boil without undergoing any change in their composition, means the moles of any particular component in the solution becomes equal to the moles of that particular component in the vapor phase. So these are the topics which we have to study today, that is ideal solution, non-ideal solution and azeotropic mixture. I hope you all get to know that what are these solutions. Now it's a kind of favor for you that please learn example of ideal solution, non-ideal solution, solution showing positive deviation, negative deviation, and azeotropic mixture with their boiling point and composition. So students, that's all for today. I'll see you in my next video with new topics.